How you doing, everybody? It's Bruce here. Uncle Bruce is here. Stock Markets with Bruce, talking to you about what's happening in the markets in plain English. Thank you for joining me this morning. A little late starting. I was just watching what you were all watching and we're all waiting for, and that was English, the interview with Mr. Noto, CEO of SoFi, and also I was keeping an eye on the jobless claims report numbers to see what that was going to be all about. And it's official. The world is not ending. So that's good news. I'm happy to report the world is not coming to an end. Yay! All right. We keep working and pay our bills. Okay, well, there it is. That's official. We're not being let off the hook with respect to our obligations. I guess the good news is that as far as interest rates go, and perceived interest rates go and all that, we should be all right, without having double-digit interest rate problems, and we're not going to have double-digit inflation rate problems. And I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I think it's a good thing. Well, let's see what the market wants to give us today. Bruce, for the size and the financial position of the company, is 700 million shares a reasonable amount for SoFi to have at this point in time? What's normal? Is there a normal? I can't answer that question for you. I just know that under the SPAC deal that they put together, this is the deal. What I look at is the fact that if they'd have gone through an IPO, they would have done a $10 funding now, and then they would be going public 6 months from now, and they would be targeting $30, $35 a share, hyping the show for the big show. They'd be hyping the fact that they're hosting the Super Bowl. They'd be using that to hype the IPO market. They try to get the stock out at $35 a share, and then they would try to open it at 70 to 80 share, and that's where you'd be allowed to start buying it, $80 a share 6 months from now. That's too much. I would say so. But $10 or $16 right now in SoFi, I like this price. I'd rather you pay $16 a share, 18, 20, 22, buy these at these levels than pay 80 to 90. I think this is just a better deal. That's just my own personal opinion. Is there a quick and dirty method to decide if a call is too expensive? Exactly 20 calls for SoFi at 360. Really, it's just a matter of where has that option been when the stock was where at and what have you. If the shares were $18 and the calls were at $4, and then the shares are $17 and the calls are at $380, and the stock's at $16 and the calls are at $360, maybe they're still too high. Maybe that's too high a price to pay. Maybe you need another dip and get them into the 320 range. Maybe you put in a bid at 305. You put a bid in at 285 and see if they come to you. That might be the way to play this game. A little more patient and let it happen to you. I have some September ATIP $12.50 calls that are deep in the red right now. Should I try to get out or just be patient? ATIP, I'd sit there. You've got Septembers? Yeah, I'd sit there. Yeah. I mean, whatever you put up, you're risking, obviously. But $12.50, you're out of the money? Yeah, for sure. But the shares are not giving up any ground here. ATIP this morning were at 803, now at 816 on 121,000 shares. So obviously not a lot of selling coming in, a little nibbling coming in. The shares just seem to be inching higher. Wait for just let the company do its thing. Another month or so. Just kind of stick around. Is Gore's going to go nuts before the 20th? Anything is possible with Matterport. Anything. There was a report. Apparently, there was a news report that came out today that had Matterport mentioned in some kind of a real estate pickup of some kind. I don't know if that had any effect on the stock from 1380 to 1404. I don't know. We had an announcement last week with Facebook, with Matterport, popped Gore's up $2 in one day. Anything is possible. The 20th of July is the shareholder vote. That is official. We know Matterport takes over Gore's on July the 20th, 12 days. So kids, there are 2 weekends in the next 12 days. So we don't have very many trading days left on Gore's. Possibly this could be it for Gore's for a while at these low levels. I could be wrong, but I could be right that with Matterport takeover date coming on, and I think a lot of people are involved with Matterport. A lot are fans around Matterport. this could cause a bit of buying coming in here at these bargain prices. And maybe by the time Gores gets taken out, maybe we're at 16 to 18 bucks a share. Maybe. Let's see. What is causing the overall market to go red this morning? It was worries about the recovery not being good enough, supply chain problems. It wasn't interest rates going up because they were coming down. It wasn't inflation, although there's still that kind of nonsense. I think what's going on is what I was talking about this 6 months ago, about how if we have supply chain disruptions where goods are not getting to factories fast enough and on time for the just-in-time assembly world we're into now, companies might not be able to meet their targets, their earnings targets, even though they are back ordered with orders all over the place. They got orders up to the wazoo. They can't get the finished product out the door on time to their customers who are looking for them. And so obviously we're hearing about Ford and other car companies and the computer chip problem. But we're also hearing about other companies and their delivery problems. And maybe the markets were worried overnight that maybe China won't reach its production numbers. Europe won't reach its economic production numbers. Maybe that'll infect the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And so there were worry warts out there going, oh no, the world is coming to an end, when it isn't. That maybe the variants are going to rise up again and get those who are not inoculated with with sickness. There's all these worries, but to me, I'm looking at going, there's nothing to worry about, kids. There's more cash in the system and keeps coming into the system to flood income and flood people's incomes and flood cash flows and keep this economy growing. We aren't growing out yet. The United States has 9.2 million job openings out there. This is not an overheated economy. This is an economy that will keep expanding, keep growing. Yeah, there's glitches. Yeah, sure. How can there not be glitches? We shut the world down. We shut the world down last year, March. Of course, there's going to be glitches reopening the economy, but this is not a big deal. So the markets were down 550 points in the pre-markets for a while. We're now down 482 on the Dow. We got some worry warts worrying about certain companies not delivering on the end game. But I'll tell you, it's like a slingshot or a bow and arrow. It's being pulled back here. We got companies sitting on orders and desperate customers and no price discounts globally. And I think we've got ourselves some really juicy earnings coming up for public companies that we're following. That's my thought. IBM right now unchanged, giving up all those gains. It's down to nickel to 139.77. I am not worried. The Dow's down 510. I'm not worried. It might be the last gasp on a sell-off. I don't see heavy volume coming in on the sell side, so I'm not even worried about it. But it is what it is, and we get to see the print, and we all get to wonder how many people are panicking right now. I wouldn't be panicking here. I'd be buying. Can you explain why December Gore's options further out of the money are going up today when all of the lower strikes are going lower? Why would that be? Well, it could be, I don't know if the share, are the options actually trading higher or are the bid and asks showing in higher? Because if it's a bid and ask thing, don't believe it. It's the trades of the contracts that will tell you if that's truly going on. But it could be that people are interested in going longer out, further down the road for Gores, because they believe in the big story. They believe in the Matterport Gores merger being, really positive for the market, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Is it a fair guess it'll remain below 145 because of the split? Not necessarily. As news comes out about the split in more detail, it might pop to 150 to maybe even 160. It could pop on the pre-split. Yeah, don't be surprised. I can tell you that IBM does not want to do a split to hurt itself. IBM wants to do a split to help its shareholders. They want the street to go, oh, this is great. That's what they want. They want positive momentum in the stock, not negative. Believe me, they are working hard to structure this just right. My GameStop is expiring tomorrow. Should I hold off writing another one? and wait for a rebound. You're getting a rebound right now. I'd wait for more. Yeah, I would. I would wait a little more because we may have a bit of a surge here into the 90s. Let's see what's coming on. Let's also watch this Dow. We're down 314, 318. If this Dow takes a pop, comes into this negative 250 to negative 150 range, a whole bunch of stocks will start turning positive, and that could put more momentum on these GameStops and others that we're following. Let's see what they can give us, and then you can write for a higher premium. Beautiful job. I'm so excited about your classes this weekend. Do we need to come specifically prepared with any scenarios or questions? I know I have a bunch as a new, but you don't really have to. You'll ask questions as I get into what I'm talking about, but certainly anything you've always wanted to know about options, anything that you can't figure out, I'll do a presentation, open up for questions and answers. I'll do some more info for you, open the floor up again, and we'll just keep working this. And by the time the show's over, hopefully I've got all your questions answered. By all means, a lot of you will likely have the same question. Many of you, and hopefully with one answer, I'll get a whole bunch you looked after. Looking forward to it too. I can't wait. If you miss the classes this weekend, will you be lost and not have the knowledge for the classes next weekend? No, you won't. Each class is its own unit. It might all be about options, or it might all be about trading, but it'll be its own unit, and you'll just kind of follow along. The best part about missing a class is whenever you want, you can just watch it on the website, catch up with us, and do that. So, not a big deal. Get ready, kids. This weekend, oh my God, it's happening. We will start our classes this Saturday and Sunday, noon Eastern time for each class, Saturday and Sunday, live right here. And Bruce will be on the whiteboard just going. This can be great.